Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. On yesterday, I had the opportunity to watch one of the silliest movies that I've seen on Tubi in quite some time. The name of the movie is called Married to a Baller, and if I had to rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a solid 2. Some of the folks that are promoting this movie claim that it's one of the best movies they've seen on Tubi. But to those folks, I say the devil is a lie, and they need to be drug tested expeditiously. But over the course of this review, I will share a brief summary for the movie, as well as some of the things that I liked about the movie, which isn't much, and I'll also talk about the things that I did not like about the movie. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. The movie Married to a Baller follows the story of Sky. Sky is a beautiful lady who is married to a pro athlete, has 2 kids, and lives the life of luxury. However, there's one slight problem. Sky's husband Sandino is Ike Turner on steroids. Sandino is essentially every single Tyler Perry movie villain all rolled up into one cartoonish character. Very early on in the movie, we as the viewing audience watch Sky get brutally assaulted by Sandino, and Sky eventually hatches a plan to leave with the kids. This plan doesn't fully pan out, and Sky eventually has to face off with Sandino. So if I had to say anything positive about this movie, I will say that I appreciate the movie for what it was trying to do, which was bring attention to the issue of domestic violence and other forms of assault within relationships. I think that this movie could have been a perfect platform in showing us as the viewing audience why some women stay in abusive relationships, as well as what potential challenges they may face when developing the courage to leave their relationship. And the acting performances in this movie weren't necessarily bad, but they also weren't very memorable. So my main issue with Married to a Baller was the storyline. In the movie, it has been established that Sandino is a professional football player, and by judging by the house and the lavish lifestyle he's living, he's bringing in quite a bit of money. In our current climate within the society, a professional athlete could lose their job and be blackballed solely on an allegation of abuse. But in this movie, Sandino regularly beats up Sky, and in one scene, he beats up a guy who he thought Sky was getting too friendly with, before beating up Sky, all while at a public party. So if Sandino was just a regular guy with little to nothing to lose, then I can see him being willing to risk it all for the sake of committing crimes. But he has been written to be such a famous and rich person, so this part made no sense in the movie. Later on, we learn that Sky has been stealing some of Sandino's money, putting it to the side in her own private account, and enlisting her friend, who is an employee at the bank, to help with this scheme. I think it was crazy for Sky to hatch this plan and think that Sandino would never find out about it. But we later learned that Sky's friend at the bank had pocketed her money, and in my opinion, this was completely foolish on the part of Sky's friend, because the penalty for embezzlement to this degree could land somebody in prison for up to 20 years. 20 years for stealing that little money is just plain dumb. But in this movie, Sky gets brutally assaulted by Sandino right before bedtime, and immediately after Sandino falls asleep, Sky decides to sneak away with the kids. Here's my problem with this plan. If Sky truly felt that Sandino would eventually kill her if she ever left, but she still developed the courage to leave, why leave while Sandino was still in the house? I could understand if she had drugged Sandino and he was out of commission for several hours during the escape, but Sandino was a light sleeper, and Sky still convinces the kids to leave with her before she really had a plan in place to leave. Again, if Sky was ready to leave, she could have waited until Sandino left the house to take the kids with her. She could have also called the police, gotten a protective order, and taken the children with her to a shelter before filing for divorce. But she felt that her best option was to leave in that moment and hope that her friend had the money that she was skimming off of Sandino. The rest of the movie is just one WTF moment after another. Sky's kids are dumb and dumber. One kid is completely oblivious to his surroundings, while the other kid is constantly contacting Sandino, while fully knowing what Sandino did to his mother, Sky. Yet Sandino is able to track down the family with the help of the kid. When the family runs low on money, then Sky moves them into a seedy motel, and Sky is recruited by some strippers that live there for some much needed money. Sky then decides that the best course of action was to keep all of her money in the seedy hotel room and leave it there while she and the kids left. Someone then comes into the room while they were out and steals all the money, so so the family finally decides to go to a DV shelter. The manager of the shelter is Justice. He cares nothing about ethics and optics whenever he sees a beautiful woman. Justice saw Sky, and he tried to shoot a shot, all while knowing that Sky was still married to an abusive man. The icing on the cake was how Justice told Sky that she looked like Lisa Ray. Negro please. Even Stevie Wonder could see that they looked nothing alike. But Justice was just trying to clap some cheeks, so I can't really blame him for telling bold-faced lies. Justice also allowed his brother's ex, who he gave the pickle tickle to work at this shelter, and she instantly becomes jealous of Sky. You really can't make any of this nonsense up. The ending was also dumb as hell. We learned that Sandino was having an affair with Sky's friend from the bank, and he kidnapped the friend after learning that she had stolen the money. Sandino was arrested for the kidnapping, but for some reason, he was granted bail with ankle monitoring as a condition for the release. Sandino says forget the ankle monitoring, and he decides to risk his freedom in order to bring Sky and the kids back. Meanwhile, Justice crossed boundaries even further by allowing Sky and the kids to move into his house while he found housing for them. Sandino tracks them down, and a fight breaks out, but the movie ends before we get any resolution to what happened. Did Sandino die after getting shot? Did Sky and the kids move back into the house because Sky's kids were concerned about leaving home and their friends behind? What happened with Justice? So many questions with so little answers. So all in all, this movie was plain stupid. Sure, the lead actress who plays Sky was good to look at, but her physical appeal could not carry the movie alone. So to those who haven't seen the movie yet, this movie is not on my recommendation list. But if you still want to see the movie, I say go check it out and judge for yourselves. And this marks the end of my review. If you have any comments about the review or the movie, feel free to leave them below in the comment section and I'll respond to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.